Yeah, busy getting ready, going to Tony Robbins. Cut my shit. I don't really even know why I have such a big suitcase, but I do. I'm going to Tony Robbins. Lens is still on. Camera's still on. Just the lens cap. Just the lens cap.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning here. Big Kano.
G'day, mate.
How do you feel about the big TR?
I'm feeling good right now. Feeling better than I should at 3 AM in the morning, I think. But I'm ready to rumble in the jungle.
Tell your Tinkles, how you feeling about taking us to the airport?
Morning!
Holy shit, she is fresh in the morning.
Checked in, so what do we do? Just fucking walk in, say, hey, we're here to fuck shit up.
Should I pull in here?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the drop-off location. The drop-off location.
Oh, I just dropped off a couple of logs.
I mean, you got time.
I'm here to drop off some lumber.
Kano, looking good.
So I can change, I can take my tights off if I'm feeling too hot. I got thongs on, because I hate wearing shoes on the plane.
Happy birthday, Kano. We are in Sydney, ready to rock it.
It's the place to be today on my birthday, so.
I forgot it was his birthday. So we're busy looking for the hashtag Pampered by Amanda limousine sign, but we can't seem to find it.
Yeah. I've asked like 3 people hashtag Pampered by Amanda and we can't find the limo, so.
So we don't know what's going on. There must have been some sort of miscommunication. You got it. Now to find that Pampered by Amanda?
Yeah, now to find the limo, so. There's a couple lined up. I don't know which one's out. I'll find out.
We looked everywhere for that limo, but couldn't find it.
What'd you do?
So we looked everywhere for that limo.
Oh yeah, couldn't find the limo.
Must have been some sort of a misunderstanding.
This is pretty close though.
Pretty close. Smells like strawberries in here.
Strawberries and champagne.
Strawberries and champagne.
Hashtag Pampered by Amanda.
Yeah. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do.
There it is. The big reveal. We're waiting for the entourage, the surprise party. Hashtag Pampered by Amanda.
Not working.
Suspense is killing me. You don't even know how to use the door. Come on, Kane, get it together.
Hold on, you have to wait for me to get my shit.
Okay.
So the suspense must keep going. Are you ready?
Let's go. Straight into a stairway.
2 floors.
Let's go for the explore.
I want the top bunk. We can have bunk beds.
most importantly,
The kitchen. How's this? You gotta do one of these. You gotta do one of these videos of it.
oh,
That's funky fresh, man.
I'm just more concerned about these delicious treats
What do we got?
from Pampered by Amanda.
Hashtag pampered by Amanda. Ooh.
I'm gonna get some of that in my belly. I'm hungry. Got a little bit of a poo-coloured lake out here. It's rather pretty. Probably a few poos in there.
This doesn't make sense.
What's most important is what we eat.
He's eating that, I'm eating room service.
Let's go for a look at the bedroom.
Let's do it.
Just waiting for the champers and the roses so that when we spoon tonight.
It's all romantic and shit. Okay. Nice big bed.
Not bad.
Nice king size fucking.
What's in here? Whoa. Have you got an ensuite, bruh? Woo! How you doing?
You got an ensuite?
Do you?
Yeah, I got one here. Well, it's not really an ensuite, but it's a suite.
Oh, yeah.
Balcony.
I guess I'm getting the papa room because I'm the big papa.
The big. Well, they both got king size beds, so.
It looks like someone's just taken a fair square dump in that lake. That's how brown it is.
Oh, I didn't bring my cucumber.
Oh, I gotta get you cucumber. While he's doing that, day one, the big Tony Robbins thought we'd go through our little baggies here. Got a Unleash the Power Within booklet.
Unleash!
Probably going to be a whole lot of amazing stuff going in this book over the next few days, especially from my part.
Got a name tag, so just in case anyone forgets our names. I did ask if they could put the rooster on here, but they just put Kane Stone, unfortunately. But that's alright.
I got a name tag too, so don't be jelly, but pretty much we're amazing.
His has got big horse on it. So we'll do a little show of our snacks as well, just so everybody knows how we're going to stay focused. So, he likes red apples, I like green apples.
Got strawberries, 2 for $5 from RGA.
Got some mints as well, just to keep the breath fresh.
I didn't know you had those, but when we kiss later, we'll need them.
Yeah, boy.
Oat slice, courtesy of my wife. Thank you very much. Love you, babe.
Echo so Marcos Miguel.
Yeah.
Protein shake. Salted caramel for me.
Although we're only allowed one 600ml pet bottle, so these will be chugged on the way.
I've already had one of those this morning though, so... what's this one here?
I have some facial wipes.
Oh, I didn't know you had those either.
If I get a sweaty face.
Yeah, they're good. And they got the moisturising ones in there.
I don't know what they got in them, but they feel good.
This is one from hashtag Pampered by Amanda. Choc Cherry Superfood Bar.
Where's my one of those?
Thank you, Amanda.
There. Did I show you these already? Choc mint protein slice.
Delicious. Oh, I've got three. I've got three 600ml. I've got myself an orange and mango juice as well.
You're going to be pissing hard by the time you get there because you're going to have to chug all that.
I won't be throwing any out though, so...
You know what I'm feeling sad about? You got a pen and I didn't get a pen.
Oh, I've got 2 pens, so do you want one of my pens?
Yeah. You got 2 pens.
So this is my favourite snack. The cucumber.
He bought a cucumber to gnaw on throughout the day.
So this is going to keep me hydrated because they're about 90% water and just going to give me a little pep in my step. chewing on this thing.
It's going to give him... I'll be looking over in a minute and there'll be Kane just chewing on this cucumber.
Mandarin, always good, apart from when you got to get rid of the peels.
You know what?
We got new.
We both got power packs.
Yeah, big power
This is
packs.
a bit bigger than mine though.
This is to charge. Oh, I turned it on. This is to charge the batteries up.
It was Kane's birthday yesterday, and that's one of his presents that he got.
The missus looked after me with a power pack, so I can charge my phone on the go.
That's really just so she can keep in touch with him the whole trip. All right.
I'm still going. I got more snacks. I got some cashews, salted cashews.
Jeepers. I'm going to be eating those.
And that's about it. Other than that, we've just got our massive brain gains booklet.
You know what I find really interesting about this book? This is day 4 onwards is all about health and fitness and energy.
Yeah.
And that's day 4, so like 2/3 of the book is one day and the rest of the book. So we're not going to learn much in the first few days apparently. It's only in the last day that we get the bulk of the content.
Here we go.
But,
the 12 master principles of a vital life. 8 gifts and 4 poisons.
But I just want to read to you guys, I did post this on my Instagram. I just found something rather entertaining about this book. The philosophy of no pain, no gain is a fallacy. In most cases, pain is usually a signal that you are doing something wrong. Your goal should be to exercise for a long period of time, but in a totally enjoyable way. If you exercise at 70% of the heart rate rather than 90%, you can exercise forever, never stopping. And afterwards, you won't feel physically stressed, stiff, beat up, or exhausted. What an incredible feeling. Well, let me just tell you, Tony Robbins, you clearly don't CrossFit.
He's never CrossFitted. How's this
Never
one?
CrossFit in his life.
Socrates, this is in the book as well. No citizen has a right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. What a disgrace it is for a man to grow old without ever seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable.
I like that one.
Hey!
Socrates is going to be proud of.
Socrates loves a good bit of gains. Boom!
Alright.
Alright. Wrap it up.
That's our first morning log. We haven't even been to Tony Robbins yet. Well, we did go last night to register and it took me about an hour and a half to get my ticket sorted.
Yeah.
But we'll check in. The first day is 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
We're going all night. We're going to midnight.
So we're going to vlog tonight when we get home. We'll be pumped!
Yeah, either that or I'll be passing out.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just going to show you guys how beautiful Kane is in the morning. Let's go.
Fucking hell. How the hell did you sneak in? Fuck. How is someone so big sneaky?
Did you get that? Did you get that in there? Yes. That has to make it onto the video. That's got to make it on.
Oh.
Wait a couple of seconds. That's what the people want to see, though. That's definitely what the people want to see. Clear that out. Clear that out, man. Fucking hell.
Woo!
Alright, guys, so Clint's just,
Good way to start the morning.
Clint's just got rid of some bad energy from yesterday.
Oh shit,
Filled the house up, and it fucking reeks. So if I'm pulling a weird face, that's why.
We were totally going to do this video log last night, but we didn't get in till 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30.
And couldn't be fucked, so here we are.
And the last thing we did was walk on fire, so we were both a little bit fucking... Bit scattered.
Bit fried, especially me.
The big dog here. Where do we start? Well, I think I'll just pick one thing, hey?
Yeah, go.
So I'll pick one thing that I learned yesterday that I think was pretty cool or valuable or whatever. Took heaps of notes. There was a lot of different... he was going through a lot of different things in depth, which is awesome. Obviously, Tony's talking for 12 hours, which is pretty fucking crazy. And through that 12 hours, it's like... he starts with, motion creates emotion, and what that does to your physiology, like what your physiology does to your chemical balance in your brain and those sorts of things as well. And so he starts talking about that and goes into the science of it, and then he gets you moving the whole time. He gets, loud music. It's like a club in there. Obviously, we'll put some videos up.
Shake your body out, make your move! Make your move! Yes. Say yes! Yes. Say yes! Yes. Say yes! Yes. We have two.
So it's pumping all day, so your energy levels, you're really high all day. Like I wasn't really feeling like I was going to have a crash at all until sort of 5, 6 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
5, 6 o'clock, which is like 6 hours in, and then I had an energy drink and pep myself up. So I think the biggest thing that I came with from yesterday was the 6 human needs. So Tony talks about...
One of them's farting, hey?
One of us definitely smelling other people's farts. Which one's that? That's fucking connection. So there's... Tony talks about 6 human needs that sort of everyone will have, between 1 to 4 of these met at all times with different acts of their life. And, he puts it on a sliding scale of 1 to 10 and says that any moment in your life, anything that's happening to you or anything that you're doing will be on this scale somewhere, and it will meet one of these needs. And certain needs will be higher for certain people. So the first one is love and connection. And the second one is significance. Now they're a paradox, obviously, so you've got love and connection and significance, so like they can balance each other out. And then the third one is certainty, and the fourth one is variety, and obviously those two are paradox as well. They balance each other out. So he splits them up as well. So that's the 4 needs of the personality. So they're the 4 needs that you need, to meet your personality. And he talks about someone holding a gun to your head, and that's meeting certain needs, and that's why he's saying there's so much violence, in the world today, because holding a gun to someone's head, you've got certainty that you're in control. You've got, variety that anything could happen. You've got significance that you're the most important person in the room, and then you've got connection because you are more connected with that person in that moment than anything else. And that's where he talks about why there's so much violence, because people struggle to meet these needs, and they obviously lash out and do different things to try and meet them, which was pretty crazy. And so you've got they're the 4 needs of the personality.
Did you mention that he's saying that if you do any item that meets 3 of those needs, that becomes an addiction?
Yeah. So you're saying any of these needs, anything that happens that meets 3 of these needs, you'll become addicted to, which is
Scary.
pretty crazy. So if you're...
Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, whether it's good or bad. If you've got something that meets, connection, significance, and variety, then you're going to get addicted to that. Like any 3 of these ones of personality, you'll get addicted. And then, so the other 2 are the needs of the spirit. And he talks about these as being 2 of the most important for us as human beings. And number 5 is growth. And number 6 is contribution. So these 2 are like the big hitters. He says, like if these 2 needs are being met in particular, like it's really fulfilling for you, and so we could talk about fulfillment as well. But
I'll go on this. I want to do this first. Something that I'd like to chat about today is the success cycle, because I think, it applies in all areas of your life. But let's look at CrossFit, for example. For those guys trying to compete and do better, he breaks up the success cycle into 4 areas: belief and certainty, does that say potential? Yeah, potential, action, and result. So what he talks about is to prime your body to get the result that you want, you have to have absolute belief and certainty in yourself. You have to have a clear, defined picture of what you want and where you're going. And you have to know in yourself that it is absolutely, you are capable and you can do it. So without setting up that first step, you're not going to, give the potential for that step isn't going to be high, and the actions that you take aren't going to necessarily be of great volume. Although you might think they are, you're not going to get the same results. So as long as you have, the complete certainty and belief that you can achieve, the potential that you're going to get for that and the actions that you're going to put into place are going to get you to the goal. So this is kind of like this cycle, it can go both ways. So if you have the belief and certainty that you're going to become rich, then it builds upon itself, and every time you hit that goal or you make some money or you do better, it kind of like starts to snowball effect, so it starts to continue. And the same thing, if you are continually going in a downward spiral, things keep going wrong, then it can continue in that way. So the success cycle that he puts in place doesn't necessarily guarantee you success. He's like, nothing can guarantee you success, but it can increase your chances significantly so that you are much more likely to go there. If you focus on what you want, then you will more than likely head towards that goal, and if you don't hit that goal, you will find another way to get there. But if you focus on what you don't want, you're pretty much going to get what you don't want. So I really did like that little part. Have you got anything to add to that?
Just how he talks about your physiology changing from that belief. Like if that belief is so intense that you can do something like the fire walk, like your physiology changes to better able you to do that.
Yeah.
So in that cycle, if you have the belief and the certainty that you can do something, like you can do that deadlift or you can do that amount of reps or whatever, like your physiology will change. Your microbiology will change within your body to allow you, not necessarily allow you to do it, because you could believe with certainty that you could do a 400 kilo deadlift, but physically you can't do that. But if it's like if it's in your realm of capability, like physically, but you just haven't got there mentally yet, your microbiology and your brain will change to better allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Like it'll give you the right.
One thing he did add, which I didn't talk about, was he says, discipline your disappointment. Meaning, if you absolutely believe with absolute certainty that you can achieve something and you fail, what do? Do you pack up your bags and go home, or do you try and find another way? He just, pushes that, like, if something doesn't work, you try again. If that doesn't work, you try again. If that doesn't work, you try again. If you're that driven to achieve a result, you continue to try until you find the way that's going to get you that result. And he's like, how do you use that disappointment to your success? So what do you find what went wrong, and you learn from that, and then you grow.
That's it. Here's another little fact. Men have 1/10 of the amount of oxytocin of women. That's another little fact. So that's where the caring factor of women comes in, and the whole family aspect. Men have got 1/10 of the amount of oxytocin, which is the love chemical.
I love what he was saying yesterday about how we are molded as we grow up. Like if we're that when we're a little kid, we're loved no matter what. We could do anything wrong, and then it gets to a point where we start to separate a little bit. So if we want our parents' attention, we cry, which gets our parents' attention. If we don't get our parents' attention, we throw ourselves on the floor and have the biggest tantrum. And then if that gets your parents' attention, then that's our strategy. That forms the strategies that we use later on in life to get love, or that oxytocin, because we become addicted to it. And on the same note, like, so you could have somebody who has that strategy of having a tantrum, and as they get older, they follow that same strategy in their adult life, and they have tantrums and they carry on. Or you can make an achiever, like, Tony made that example of like a kid who first gets up and walks, and the parents are there and they're like clapping and they're carrying on and they're cuddling and they're making a massive celebration out of it. And he's like, that's how you create an achiever. Like, an achiever is born right in that moment, because that child is being rewarded in such a way that that forms the way it feels later on in life. So it's continually trying to achieve because of how it got treated. And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, and you see that in adult life. You see the people who have a tantrum to get attention, and you see the people that are your quiet achievers. They just get shit done, and then that's how they get their attention.
It's like, if you're a kid and you're not getting attention in those ways, and you try and make silly noises like and then someone laughs, and all of a sudden comedian's born.
That's what he's talking about. I think the other big one was the 2 primary fears. I think that was a huge one. So he talks about fear and the fact that there's literally only 2 primary fears left for human beings now, because we've got nothing else left. There's no saber-toothed tigers or anything like that. The 2 primary fears are 1, not being enough, and 2, that you won't be loved. So he pretty much ties every fear back to that. Everything everyone's scared of, everyone that gets intimidated by social situations and all those sorts of things, is because they're scared of not being enough, or not being loved or accepted, in that situation. So
he was in that sort of with that, he was talking about your emotional home, and so we talked about oxytocin and love and how you're molded to a certain set of emotions as you grow older. He's saying, like, some people might be continually angry like that. They always go back to that anger state, or they always go back to that happy state, that we need to have an emotional upgrade. So basically we need to change our emotional home so that we're not continually dragged back into those shitty states.
What else did he talk? He talked about 3 reasons why people don't achieve things. I think this is a massive one as well. Is people throw out a lot of excuses, but there's essentially only 3 reasons why you wouldn't achieve something, and one is emotions that get in the way. You get overwhelmed, or you get too emotional in that situation, and you can't achieve something because of that. Number 2 is limiting beliefs, and literally just thinking that you can't do that. That's another reason. And then the 3rd one is skills, and that's the most limited one. That's the easiest one to overcome, because any skill can be learned. Obviously with the right tools in certain situations, but every skill can be learned. So it's really only emotions that get in the way of us, and our limiting beliefs. So if we can learn to crush those, then we should be able to achieve anything.
Let's talk about the firewalk.
The firewalk. That's a long story. So the firewalk, he pumped us up all day for it. So obviously you start off the day, and then he lets you know, like, early in the morning, that the firewalk's going to be today.
Fuck, he had us building anchors all day, but didn't tell us once that we were doing it.
Yeah. So
he NLP'd the shit out of us,
did.
And didn't once say we were doing any NLP, hey?
Yeah. So throughout the whole day, anyone who knows the NLP stuff, your anchor might be, for him it was a clenched fist. So we were clenching our fist, and he anchored probably 5 or 6 emotions.
Oh, so many.
He anchored like 5 or 6 emotions throughout the day to that clenched fist. So love and joy.
Here's
happiness.
me clenching onto my fist. What an idiot.
Yeah. So he's like, clench your fist, clench your right fist, and Clint goes. So this is Clint's
Clenching
anchor.
my fist, guys. I'm doing my anchor.
This is the anchor.
What an idiot.
So throughout the day, he's building us up for it. He's telling us the science behind it. He's telling us how it works. He's giving us all the stats of the millions of people that have done firewalks, and he talks about the anchors. Well, he talks about the anchors right at the end, but throughout the day, he's anchoring just everything into you. He's getting you in a pumped up state. He's just taking your physiology, because he talks about changing emotion. It always starts with physiology. If motion creates emotion, you start with that physiology, you get pumped, and then you can change that emotion on the next level. So he's pumping us up all day. It's like a club in there. It's going off. Yeah, it's literally going off. I'm having my boogie on. We're having a dance and
At the
shit.
beginning of the day, we're just like, we're not fucking dancing. By the end of the day, we're like, whoa!
I was breaking a move. We're getting massages and shit. I'm massaging Clint. He's massaging me. You know, that was definitely one of my highlights of the first day. So then, yeah, he's gone through the whole day. You just get you get so psyched up for this firewalk, and then he goes through the firewalk. He does a bit of a guided meditation with us, calms us down, takes us into a lower state, but then sort of trains us on firing those anchors and getting pumped up and pumped up and pumped up, and then essentially all day as well, what he's anchoring in is he's anchoring in the word yes, and that's the one thing I noticed as well. So from the start of the day, he's anchoring the word yes, yes, and clapping, yes, yes. He makes us do that 1,000 times. He's anchoring that to those same emotions, right? So every time you fire your anchor, he's like, he stops you firing the anchor, and then he's like, yes, yes, and he's anchoring that in as well. So now he's firing our anchors as well. So what he does is, as we're walking to the firewalk, everyone's going like this, yes, yes, yes. So we're just firing those anchors, those positive, like confident affirmations. And then, yeah, you come out, you walk out of the stadium, there's 8,000 people all walking together. There's some crazy shit. Like, it looked like a cult or something.
Let me tell you, for someone with an inner dialogue, this isn't necessarily the best experience because it is hard to shut that motherfucker out.
Clint's brain's going...
I'm going, what? I'm sitting in my head, I'm telling myself, you just better keep chanting because you need to cut this inner dialogue out, because if I think about this too much, it's going to mess with my brain. Everyone else is getting into it, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm walking along
yes,
with
yes, and I'm just like... You're about to walk into 2,000 degree fiery coals. You better not fucking fuck this up because it's going to fuck you up.
Won't be able to train for fucking how long?
Oh my gosh.
So he partners you up with some random person. You got to pump them up and shit and get them in their state. And so yeah, we're all walking to the fire. 8,000 people through the stadium, and then out of the stadium, and then there's freaking drums. It's like some crazy jungle cult shit going on. And then
cults get built just like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's 50 lanes of fire, and you can see like red hot coals. You start
probably
to smell
about
it.
Coals, like if they burn down a fire, they got bags and bags of coals, and they're probably about that deep.
Yeah.
And they just pour, like, it's probably like 6 to 8 foot long.
Yeah.
It takes about like maybe 8 steps to get through it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So then they're throwing all the coals out, and you can see the wheelbarrows like full of red hot coals, and they're just loading them on like for each person, you know. So then everyone's just still going yes, 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 and I'm just saying yes in my head over and over. I'm like, I'm inside my own head, and I'm like, fucking do this shit, motherfucker. You got this, you got this. Like, I'm pumping myself up inside my head, and I'm like trying my hardest not to think anything other than fucking let's do this shit. And then yeah, we get up to the
I'm just trying to drown out the thinking. I don't know. I got this way. I can think whilst fucking chanting shit because it just becomes like, it's like reading a book and thinking something completely different.
Yeah, that's.
But I was just like, fuck, shut up. Yes, yes, yes. You got this. It's not 2,000 degrees. Yes, yes. It's 2,000 degrees. Fuck.
It's fucking cool moss. That's what he had to say.
It's cool moss.
It's cool moss. So then you get up to the flames, and then you stand on the grass, and then you've got all the coals in front of you, and then there's someone next to you, and they're like, they give you the same cues as Tony. So they're like, yes, 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 fire your anchor and shit. And I'm like, yes. So I'm standing there, and I did it the first time. The lady's like, you ready? And I was like, no, I'm fucking not ready. So I did it again. Yes! And then just started fucking walking. So I just looked up and just started walking straight across the thing, and then fucking you get to the other side and you're literally mind blown. You were literally mind blown.
I'm a few behind him, and I'm like chanting yes, yes. I get up to the thing. I'm watching this lady send people. Tony Robbins like, each one of these people have been with us for 10 years, so they'll know when to go. And I'm looking at her, and she's just like fucking dumb as shit. And I'm like, she's just letting people go. Like, they just look like they're not even half ready. And I'm like, man. So anyway, I've gotten to the line, and I'm like fucking, yeah! And she's like, go, go, go. And I'm like, fuck. Look up, and I'm like, cool boss, cool boss, cool boss. I get to the other side and pass out.
Fuck, yeah. So he the way he walked, like everyone needs to see this. Like I will show you when we're back at the club, but it was like a fucking Terminator, man. I'm walking across the coals and he's like, and Tony Robbins is like, you know, walk cool. What did he say? Normal and direct. So I'm walking normal and direct, and then I turn around afterwards. I'm all pumped up because I did it, and I see Clint walking across. He's literally like his head's going fucking, and then he hits the other side, and I'm like, yeah, big dog. I started laughing because I saw the way he walked, and I was like, yeah, big dog, and then fucking boom out. I thought he stepped off the coals, and then Tony Robbins was telling this story about how someone stepped off the coals, they broke their state, and then they stood on another coal that had got loose. And that's what I thought happened. I thought he stepped off, broke his state or whatever, and then stood on another coal and then hit the ground. So he just went down on a knee and hit the ground. I was like, fuck. And he was down.
Kane saved my life.
I grabbed him under the lats. Just anyone who remembers Christmas party 2017, I returned the favour. So
he stepped off a boat. He was pissed. Stepped off the ferry, the Christmas ferry, and fucking in between the boat and the jetty, he's just like 1 foot's gone down. He's shot down. I'm like behind him, grabbed him, and saved him from getting dunked hard.
Yeah. So I returned the favour this time, and I caught him on the lats, pulled him up, and then I didn't know that he'd passed out until he told me. I couldn't hear shit because there was music going on.
I didn't know. I thought I must have dropped to a knee and been sort of half alive, and then I sort of stood up and I felt like I kept on like, was it?
Yeah, I was holding you up for a bit. You were just sort of like.
I feel like either I screamed so fucking hard that I literally made myself pass out from blood pressure, or I just got mentally overridden. Hey, I was just like so. It was fucking in my head so much, and by the time I got through the other side, I was just like, nah, you're done. I got a nice sort of graze, but. You know, and I was a bit disappointed last night in a sense that, like, oh, you know, I didn't fucking nail this walk like everyone else is nailing the walk. I'm sure there are other people with stories, but you know, like I've woken up this morning and I've thought about it. And I'm like, you know, if I fucking walked through 2,000 degree coals, you know,
that's nailing.
And
the
I've
walk.
got no blisters on my feet at all. I've got a graze on my knee and a little graze on my foot from falling over, but there's nothing else. So you know, I knew that my inner dialogue would fuck me up, and it did fuck me up. Like, I thought about it too much, and I was trying to cut it out, but it just goes to, you know, it's a muscle that needs to be trained. Like, that's how you would get into meditative states. We need to be able to block out that inner dialogue, and it just shows, like, a weakness that I need to go build and strengthen.
Well, it just shows you how powerful your inner dialogue is. Like, if you had to fight it that hard that you passed out, like, your inner dialogue must be so strong that for you to fight that for 8 feet, for your body to push that out for 8 feet was such a task, you know?
It was
gnarly. But that's still nailing the firewalk though. Like, there's people that probably...
People that bailed.
Yeah, people that bailed and didn't...
No, let's not talk about that. We won't talk about that. What, that lady? We saw a few interesting comments being made on the lady's message at the beginning of the night saying that she shouldn't do the firewalk, but...
So there's definitely something about Jesus and firewalkers.
Yeah. But, you know, Tony Robbins is more Christian than anyone in that room.
He is very Christian, yeah. He's very religious. But he talks about using taboo language and taboo words to cut through people's bullshit and get into their subconscious. So all day he's saying some extreme shit.
Man,
some extreme shit.
And he takes the pee.
Oh, yeah.
Out of some people.
He takes the pee big time.
But it was a flipping... Now we've vlogged this. I'm like, it was a fucking good day. I got shitloads of notes.
Yeah.
We're ready to go do it again. We've only got 8 hours today, so hopefully we'll be able to vlog tonight. Like we didn't vlog last night, obviously, because we were nailed. But plenty of stuff to learn, and we look forward to coming back and letting you guys know what else we're doing. Woo! Spy that anchor!
Alright, let's do this shit.